No more hearsay. That was the theme we started with tonight with Neil Katyal and Emily Bazelon, as blockbuster testimony is expected with this Trump White House lawyer facing the January 6th committee tomorrow. Live hearings also resume next week, and this is, in a way, the end of the line. Legally, you could call it closing arguments, you could call it a finale, but basically they're going to go at the last big evidentiary question about who is tied to those violent extremist groups. Was Donald Trump or anyone in government trying to call in those violent plays? Was that the plan or not? So with half a dozen hearings now in the books and only 2 more to come, we want to share what we've been doing here, which is showing you only the most important parts. This is short but packed, some of the most crucial testimony thus far.
The Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol will be in order.
These false claims of election fraud.
A massive effort to spread false and fraudulent information.
The stuff that his people were shoveling out to the public was bullshit.
He said dead people are voting.
It was a combination of Italians, Germans, and Hugo Chavez, and the Venezuelans, something with the Philippines.
Indians are getting paid to vote.
Are you out of your effing mind?
It was not true.
He's become detached from reality. Crazy stuff.
What they were proposing, I thought was nuts.
They were idiotic claims.
Completely nuts.
Votes were still being counted. It's too early to tell, too early to call the race.
We should not go declare victory until we had a better sense of the numbers.
I did not agree with the idea of saying the election was stolen and putting out this stuff, which I told the president was bullshit.
I respect Attorney General Barr, so I accepted what he was saying.
There was ketchup dripping down the wall, and there's a shattered porcelain plate on the floor. The president was extremely angry and had thrown his lunch against the wall.
After the election, what were the chances of President Trump winning the election?
None.
He delivered to the president pretty blunt terms that he was going to lose.
We would lose 9-0 in the Supreme Court.
The president's mind was made up.
Rather than accept the results of the election, he tried to convince the American people the election had been stolen.
Constitutional mischief.
Mark said something to the effect of, things might get real bad.
I don't want to hear any other effing words coming out of your mouth, no matter what, other than orderly transition.
President Trump summoned a violent mob and directed them illegally to march on the United States Capitol.
Mr. Cipollone said, we're going to get charged with every crime imaginable.
For anyone who didn't understand how violent that event was, I saw it, I documented it, and I experienced it.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel.
I documented the crowd turn from protesters to rioters to insurrectionists.
I overheard the president say something to the effect of, I don't effing care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me.
The anger and the profanity.
Let my people in.
The vice president had refused to get into the car, and the vice president had said something to the effect of, "But you're not the one behind the wheel."
Aware of the rioters' chance to hang Mike Pence, the president responded, Mike Pence, quote, deserves it.
The mayor was definitely intoxicated.
I didn't mind being characterized as being part of Team Normal.
Is it fair to say that election defense fund was another marketing tactic?
Yes.
The big lie was also a big ripoff.
He lied to his supporters and the country.
Corruptly pressured state legislators and election officials to change election results.
He lost, but he betrayed the trust of the American people. The people had voted him out, and the courts upheld the will of the people.
We are joined by Nick Ackerman, a lawyer and former Watergate prosecutor who knows his way around exactly these kind of probes. Pretty powerful stuff when you look at it holistically.
You do. I mean, you actually put together a very nice summation of what the committee has done, which has exceeded expectations of what Chairman Thompson said the committee would do from day one. Show that Donald Trump was basically the criminal in chief of the effort to undermine the peaceful transfer of power. And I think that's what this shows.
Yeah, you lay it out like that. And look, Nick, we don't require that you only say orderly transition. You can say other things, unlike the counsel that John Eastman was given there. And I'm curious, the real role of lawyers here, I don't say that because we are both lawyers, full disclosure, but just as in the case of John Dean, a White House counsel, who you and your investigation dealt with when he turned, tomorrow we have a White House counsel going before the committee. Why does this seem to always come back to them?
Well, I mean, this is the second time we've seen this show, basically. John Dean testified, laid out before the Senate Watergate Committee a very cogent and precise recitation of meetings with Richard Nixon, in which he basically was orchestrating the cover-up of the Watergate investigation. And after he testified, Republicans on the committee, other supporters of Nixon, claimed he was a liar, claimed he wasn't credible. And now we're seeing the same thing happen again with Cassidy Hutchinson. And what makes Cipollone so important is that he's going to be kind of like the tape that corroborated John Dean. He's going to be the guy to come in and basically be able to say that what Cassidy Hutchinson said was absolutely the truth. I mean, Cipollone was the lead lawyer for Donald Trump in the first impeachment. In Trump world, he's as good as a tape recording.
Wow. Yeah. Liz Cheney is now saying in public that they have the power and they may make more than one criminal referral. How does that all work? What are your thoughts there, Nick?
Well, I don't think it makes a difference. The evidence is out there. First of all, the Department of Justice has got to realize that they've got serious crimes to investigate. Donald Trump is up to his eyeballs in criminality here. Other people around him are up to their eyeballs in criminality, a legal term, by the way. And they have to investigate it. They have to.